The new wave of anime coming out is wildly creative, slightly chaotic, and absolutely stacked with sleeper hits. Some of these shows look innocent until they completely hijack your brain. Buckle up, these 10 new anime deserve serious attention. Number 10. Theater of Darkness, Yamishibai 16. You ever watch something that feels like someone whispering ghost stories behind you in the dark? Yeah, that's the vibe of Theater of Darkness, Yamishibai. And Season 16 is still doing what this series does best, creeping under your skin in under 5 minutes. This show doesn't rely on flashy animation or epic fights. Instead, it uses this paper-cutout, Kamishibai-style storytelling, which honestly makes everything feel way more unsettling. The art looks simple at first glance. Rough shadows, scratchy backgrounds, stiff character motion, but that's exactly what makes the horror work. It feels like an urban legend that wasn't meant to be animated. Episodes hit fast. 1 minute you're watching a normal conversation, next minute someone's reflection in a window moves when they don't. And the sound design? Pure nightmare fuel. Quiet footsteps, distant whispers, sudden silence before the scare. Number 9. Journal with Witch. What if your everyday diary entries slowly started turning into actual magic spells? Sounds cozy, right? Yeah, that's the lie. Journal with Witch starts like a calm slice-of-life series about a girl documenting her strange daily experiences. The art style is soft and pastel-colored, almost storybook-like. But here's the twist. The things she writes about start becoming real in ways she can't control. Number 8. The Daily Life of a Part-Time Torturer. Okay, this title sounds absolutely insane. A part-time torturer? Seriously? But stick with me. Because this anime flips the concept into something ridiculously entertaining. The story follows a girl who literally works as a torturer in a fantasy kingdom, except she treats the job like a casual office gig. Clock in, interrogate prisoners, grab lunch, complain about co-workers. The contrast is where the comedy hits. Visually, the anime balances goofy expressions with surprisingly polished fantasy settings. One moment you're watching exaggerated cartoon reactions, and the next you're seeing detailed dungeon environments lit by flickering torches. Number 7. Oedo Fireslayer, The Legend of Phoenix. You think this is just another historical samurai anime? Yeah, that's the trap. Oedo Fireslayer throws you straight into an Edo period city where mysterious supernatural fires keep appearing. But these aren't normal flames. They move like living creatures, devouring entire districts overnight. Enter the Fireslayer, a warrior trained specifically to battle these infernos. The fight scenes are honestly stunning. The animation leans heavily into glowing embers, flowing flames, and dramatic sword arcs that slice through burning air. What really sells the experience is the atmosphere. Streets glow orange with reflected firelight, smoke drifts through wooden alleyways, crowds panic while the protagonist moves through the chaos like someone who's done this 100 times before. And then there's the Phoenix mythology layered into the story. The deeper you go, the more you realize the fires might be connected to something ancient and terrifying. Number 6. Noble Reincarnation. Born blessed, so I'll obtain ultimate power. You see the title and think, okay, another overpowered isekai protagonist. And yeah, technically that's true, but this one leans so hard into power fantasy that it becomes weirdly addictive. The main character is reborn into a noble family with ridiculous magical blessings stacked on top of each other. Strength, intelligence, charisma. The dude basically spawned with maxed out stats. But here's the twist. Instead of hiding his power, he treats the world like a strategy game he plans to dominate. The political intrigue is surprisingly engaging. Noble houses compete for influence, magical research becomes a weapon, and alliances shift constantly. Watching the protagonist manipulate the system feels like watching someone speedrun a fantasy empire build. Visually, the anime goes big on magical effects, glowing sigils, massive spell circles, and dramatic energy bursts that look fantastic during large-scale battles. Number 5. Kunon the Sorcerer Can See, alright. Imagine being blind, but also being one of the most powerful magic users alive. That's the core concept behind Kunon the Sorcerer Can See. Kunon lost his sight early in life, but magic changed everything. Through spells and mana perception, he sees the world in a completely different way, sensing energy flows, emotions, and hidden magic that normal people would never notice. The anime does something visually brilliant here. When the story switches to Kunon's perspective, the world transforms into this abstract field of glowing magical currents. Buildings pulse with energy. People appear as shifting auras. It's honestly one of the most creative visual storytelling techniques I've seen recently. Character-wise, Kunon is calm, observant, and slightly mischievous. Because he perceives the world differently, he constantly outsmarts people who underestimate him. Number 4. Kaya-chan isn't scary. This anime looks adorable. Cute kid, soft colors, wholesome vibes. And then 5 minutes later you realize something is very wrong with Kaya. Kaya-chan isn't scary, thrives on psychological discomfort. Kaya herself is this quiet little girl who rarely shows emotion. Teachers think she's shy. Classmates think she's weird. But occasionally she says things that are uncomfortably accurate about people's darkest thoughts. The art direction amplifies the tension beautifully. Normal scenes look warm and innocent. Bright classrooms, cheerful playgrounds. But when Kaya speaks, the lighting subtly darkens and the camera angles get unsettling. It's not horror in the traditional sense. Instead, it's the kind of show that makes you slowly question whether the protagonist is protecting people or predicting their downfall. Number 3. Trigun Stargaze. Alright, anime veterans, you see the name Trigun and instantly know chaos is coming. But Trigun Stargaze brings a fresh perspective while keeping that classic space western madness alive. The desert planet setting returns with gorgeous new animation. Vast dunes stretch under glowing skies, abandoned towns creak in the wind, and gunfights kick off in the most cinematic ways possible. What makes this entry special is its character-driven storytelling. Instead of non-stop action, it spends time exploring the emotional scars left by endless conflict. Gun duels feel heavy, not flashy. Every shot fired carries consequences. The soundtrack blends electric guitar with atmospheric synths, creating this perfect lonely cowboy in space vibe. Number 2. Dead Account. Imagine if your social media account kept posting after you died. Creepy, right? That's the nightmare fuel premise behind Dead Account. The story revolves around digital ghosts, accounts belonging to dead users that suddenly become active again. Messages appear, photos upload themselves, and sometimes those posts predict real-world disasters. The anime absolutely nails the modern horror vibe. Screens glow in dark rooms, notifications echo in silence, and the internet becomes this massive, haunted space. Visually, it mixes real-world environments with glitchy digital effects. Faces distort inside screens, chat messages flicker in unsettling ways, and the line between online and reality slowly collapses. Number 1. Tojima Wants to be a Kamen Rider. Alright, buckle up, because this might be the most wholesome and ridiculous anime on this list. Tojima Wants to be a Kamen Rider follows an adult office worker whose lifelong dream is, becoming a real-life Kamen Rider hero. Not acting. Not cosplay. The dude genuinely wants to fight evil like the TV heroes he grew up watching. At first, it feels like pure comedy. Watching a grown man train like a tokusatsu hero, practicing poses, learning motorcycle stunts, shouting transformation lines in empty parking lots is hilarious. But then the anime hits you with something deeper. It explores nostalgia, childhood dreams, and the question of whether growing up means abandoning the things that inspired you. Alright, anime fans, which one of these are you watching first? And more importantly, which one did I underrate? Drop your picks in the comments. Let's argue, recommend hidden gems, and build the ultimate watch list together.